Hey YouTube, it's your girl Duchess back for another review of the Surreal Life. It's a special guest. I'm not sure what episode it's on, but I'll definitely have it in the title. I just got a little brain glitch just then. Anyway, let's get into this video. So we learned that Johnny hates to work out. That's the main theme, just starting in. Josie is concerned about Chad. Like, she says things have gotten awkward between them. It's obvious just Josie has a thing for Chad, and I think he kind of picks up on it, so I'm sure he's trying to keep his distance because he's not trying to go there. Anyway, she asked him about him, like, do you really like him? And Kim's like, they're cool. She would hang out with him, outside of the house. Or they get into some of Josie's like family life, like she had a hard upbringing, a difficult childhood. It wasn't really a hard upbringing, but it was definitely very lonely. She spent some time being very angry with her parents. She did hear "I love you" often, but it wasn't an action thing because they weren't around much. Her dad is Jose Canseco, the famous baseball player. I hope I said that right, at least close enough for you guys to know who I'm talking about. So anyway, Kim advises her to heal, to make sure that she heals from all that trauma, especially before she gets married. I wouldn't call it trauma. All of the emotional. Make sure she heals from that, so she doesn't choose someone like her parents to get married to. Unavailable, not attentive, leave her feeling lonely, and then she'll end up divorced. I did think that was great advice, and I liked the conversation that she and Kim were having, just kind of the ease of it. Anyway, next, OT and Allie are just kind of kicking it. They get into the dating stuff. She asked him what kind of woman does he like, and he definitely needs a woman that is not going to buy into his celebrity kind of situation and having some money and a little bit of clout now, because he dates very cautionary, if that's a word, because a lot of times when you come from nothing and then you get something, you feel like people want something from you, and that has been his experience, and definitely his friends' kind of experience. Like, people take advantage of you. It may not really be genuine. They're just there to kind of rummage through your pockets. I find it interesting that he's talking as if he's single. He's been in this house so long, he forgets that he has a woman that he lives with, that he has children with. I haven't forgotten that first episode, OT. I don't know what kind of time you're on. Sloan drops a clue about their next their next exercise. It's a self-love thing, and don't be afraid to get wild. So they get to their next to their destination. It's out in the wilderness, kind of like out in nature. Tyler mentions that it's very shamanish. They have to get sage before they go into this hut. There's fire, there's candles, it's bowls of flowers everywhere. And they're going to do this thing called Qatar, like a Qatar ceremony. And the host is very curvy. Everyone's talking about her cake. And we talking about birthday cake, as in Rihanna's song, like something you can pat. The guys are on it. Chet is smitten, and so is OT. So it's kind of a night of several exercises. They first start by taking a deep breath, just kind of inhaling and exhaling and just trying to relax. There's a girl that's smoking a blunt, like a big blunt, the size of a thumb, maybe. So it's causing some of them to choke. They're not really focusing much because she's just kind of over there just puffing away and staring at everybody. They're trying to concentrate and it's not going well. The host brings out the caca stuff, and it's in a bowl, and they have to drink from it and kind of feel how it goes down and all that kind of fun stuff. It's not tasting very well for Chet, so he immediately checks out. He's not drinking it. He's over there kind of looking like he's asleep, playing along, I guess. Macy says it tastes like cake mix. No one really really likes it that much. That's not going over very well. Then she tell them to put their finger inside of it. Child, this exercise is a bust. Nobody is taking it seriously, and now they're stirring their finger around in this stuff, and yeah, it's not going well. But the next exercise, they're gonna do a dance. It's kind of called an expression type dance or something like that. She takes when she takes her jacket off to get ready for this dance. The boobs, the hips, the big old wagon back there. Mama is dragging a wagon, honey, and she asked, do they want to dance with her? Of course, Chet and OT is all for it. Is OT rubbing his nipples? What is he doing with his chest? He's dancing, and they're doing this kind of like swirly thing with the hips and, you know, all of that, and, you know, trying to get into it and feel the motion. They call it ecstatic dancing. That's the one that they're doing. And it's kind of like, I mean, you know, like I said, moving your hips and swirling them around. And OT is focusing on his chest. It was funny. Anyway, they get into the ecstatic dancing, and it's like a cross between the funky chicken and erotica. She's making all of these erotic sounds, of course, like she's breathing in deeply, letting out different sounds. And even Macy says, which it doesn't take Macy to a long time to notice anything erotic, but she kind of mentions that too. So the next thing they have to do is to be an animal. Child, what is this? Like, we got a cougar, we have a bird. They have to make the sounds, and she's getting all in their faces, like helping them bring out the animal that they're doing. And I'm like, what am I watching? And Johnny has the same sentiment, because he is like, what the where am I? Like, he was totally not present for this exercise. He got absolutely nothing out of it. And when they get to this funky chicken dance, child, he about ready to leave. Anyway, now they're smelling each other. They're literally smelling each other. And Chet is not smelling anybody, but of course the hostess. I thought he was gonna bite her or lick her or something. Anyway, here's the part where I can kind of get with the sound bath. If you've ever heard like a sound bowl, somebody do a sound bowl, it's the most soothing thing. So she's doing a sound bath. It's really loud. It's going across the entire hut. And it does kind of work and start settling everyone down. They start feeling the relaxation. Kim talks about it raising your vibration, and it kind of does that too. So now that they are relaxed, they kind of talk about what, like what they got out of the exercise. Child ain't getting none out of there anyway. I mean, they got a little relaxation. That's pretty much the thing. Except for Josie. Josie, she felt a little bit more agitated. Everything is triggering her this episode about her childhood. Anyway, they're back at home, back at the house, and the cast is feeling everything but self-love. Kim's butt is hurting. She needs some Motrin. Macy wants to play choir. So she and Johnny are in there playing choir and choir director. It's the next morning now, and Josie is talking with OT. She is sharing how she doesn't like to get into her family stuff and her upbringing, because every time she does, it makes the tabloids. And her story is their story too, and they're in such a much better place. So she keeps a lot of things in. She doesn't really express much, and she talks about how it was growing up. And OT sympathizes with her. He feels bad that she had to go through that as a child. The loneliness piece and her family not really being there for her for things that were important, especially when a kid is in school and that kind of thing. So he empathizes with her, and he provides a safe space for her to kind of just to be able to kind of talk openly about what her experience was. And I love that for them. Baby, Josie was lit. She was drinking and smoking and stuff since she was like 11 or 12. Like, she didn't have anyone to tell her no. So she completely went down the rebellion road. So Allie has a boyfriend and she's kind of like in a room by herself with some shades on. I thought that was really interesting that she was inside the house with the shades on. Anyway, she's texting him. Macy comes up and is like, do you got a boyfriend? Is that your boyfriend? What's his name? Oh, his name is Will. Will what? And she started listing off all these Wills. It's clear that Allie is not trying to tell her what her boyfriend's name is, because Allie says she's very private and she doesn't really want to talk about it. Macy keeps drilling. Finally, Macy figures out that she's not going to tell her, so she goes to Instagram and she figures out who the boy is. Next thing you know, she's asking all the moms questions. When you guys get married? Are you going to have babies? Allie is being really kind in this moment because she's annoyed, really. Like, she doesn't like the line of questioning. And Macy has no clue that she's just really not reading the room. Anyway, the doorbell rings and they have a guest, and it's Jose Canseco, Josie's dad. She is happy to see him. The cast is really happy to meet him. Josie's kind of heart is warmed a little bit because her dad normally doesn't have a good impression. Like, he kind of rubs people the wrong way from her experience. So to see him getting so much love and admiration from the cast, it feels really good to her. Another guest arrived, and it's Tyler's brother, and he's so excited to see him. Like, it's really sweet to see them kind of embrace and how happy they are to see each other. Johnny realizes it's a friends and family episode. So he starts cleaning, like he's vacuuming and dusting. He even admits that he's totally that guy. Anyway, Allie's boyfriend shows and she is over the moon, of course. Josie and her dad are kind of catching up. They're just kind of having conversation. She mentions that she has baby fever. He tells her to hold off. She's still young, live her life. She's listening, but not really listening. I like to see them kind of talking and doing their thing, her and her dad. You can tell that she could probably tell this man absolutely anything. Like, she's so extremely comfortable, and so is he. So even though she kind of has this childhood stuff that's lingering, I do love to see that they have obviously repaired their relationship, because the way that they are just naturally at ease with each other, I like that for her. Allie and her boyfriend are really sweet together, but they're kind of like that nauseating, sweet, cute couple. They must have said baby and sweetheart every bit of 40 times just in this one episode, and the camera wasn't on them the entire time. One of OT's good friends by the name of AD arrives for him. Brielle, Kim's oldest daughter, is there for her. Hey Brielle. Patrick, Johnny's friend, that's who comes for him. And Chet has a friend that comes for him. So Macy kind of assumes no one is coming for her, and she's in there in her room. Like, she kind of checks out. But her oldest daughter, Anissa, comes, and Macy is so happy to see her. Like, this is her firstborn. She knew her before she was Macy Gray. She says she's like her best friend. Like, you could just genuinely see the love and friendship between these two. Macy says she's one of the best people she knows until she gets to drinking. She is on the mom police about the drinking of it all, and her daughter promised her that she wouldn't drink, but she's sneaking a sip anytime Macy isn't looking. Macy says she gets wild when she drinks, so she doesn't like it. Anyway, they're having this big kind of like buffet style, all different types of food dinner for them, but it looks like it's everything from potato salad to hot dogs to ain't no telling what else is out here. It's so many different foods for any type of diet, I would say. The drinks are flowing, so to speak. Everybody's ready to get their party on. They're talking about shots, and Macy is pulling her daughter aside, like, please don't do it. And she promised she wouldn't. They asked Brielle about, has she noticed anything, or what does she think about Kim coming on the show? And she said at first she was concerned because she's never been away from her children. Like, she's never really done anything like that. And her assessment of her now is kind of spot on, really. So I don't think Kim was putting on for the cameras, which we all know Kim can be kind of high strong. Macy noticed that her daughter's missing, and so she's kind of looking for her, like, where's Allie, or whatever her name is. Her name is not Ellie. It's something like that. Anyway, where is she? She's looking for her. She finds her just as she's sneaking a sip. And it gets kind of tight. Like, Macy's like, you promised me that you wouldn't do that. I don't want you drinking. You promised me that you wouldn't. And it kind of gets a little tight for her. And that's the end of the episode. That is Surreal Life. This was a little breather episode. Like, it wasn't a lot that went on. I think that we're going to get some more about Chet and Josie, because she obviously has this thing for him, and she's kind of policing, any type of dating innuendos or anything like that about him. He notices her with her dad there. So I think they may be building up something. That just may be me, y'all. I will go down an analytical kind of pipe dream. Anyway, this was Surreal Life. I hope you enjoyed the review. I so appreciate you stopping by my little small channel. It is your girl, Duchess. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'm out.